Girl, tell me why I had a man tell me that I was potentially limiting my company because I was choosing to focus on women entrepreneurs and not all entrepreneurs. And I know what you're thinking. No, I didn't cuss him out, but I wish I would have. I'm Alicia Robertson, founder of DEW, that's DEW, a wellness and burnout prevention app created specifically for exhausted women entrepreneurs. Welcome back to another episode of the Unhustle, where I am walking you through my journey to becoming a wellness tech founder while trying not to burn out in the process. So in last week's episode, and if you missed it, I'll be sure to link it down in the description. We talked about my overall 15-year journey and how going through severe burnout and healing through that phase of my life actually is what led me to planting the seed for what DEW is today. But I don't think we talked about why I chose to focus on women entrepreneurs specifically and not just all entrepreneurs. And to be real with you, I didn't think it was a big deal to say that I work with women entrepreneurs because one, I am a woman entrepreneur. I have been for nearly 15 years and all of my work has been pretty much centered around women entrepreneurs. So I never thought of it as a big deal to be like a specific niche or a specific target audience that I chose to focus on. That was until I had a man question me about it. Now, mind you, I don't put myself in too many spaces where men can freely express themselves because we all know how that can go. But a few months ago, I decided to attend the Raleigh-Durham Startup Week. So Raleigh-Durham Startup Week is exactly what it sounds like. It's a week of events and networking and workshops and panels and parties, all geared towards our little startup community here. So you may or may not know, I am very awkward when it comes to being in groups of people. I am awkward, I am introverted, I am a little bit shy, and it's mostly when I am around people that I really don't know. So like for a long time, I avoided going to a lot of these kinds of networking style events. But I told myself, girl, you are trying to build a company. It is more than just your tiny little platform that you're trying to build up. So I told myself that if I went to this week-long event, that I would really put myself out there, right? I would not bring a wingman like I would normally try to do. I would try to like talk my friends into coming with me, and I would walk in with confidence, right? I wouldn't hide out in the background. I wouldn't shy away. I would walk in boldly, and I think my goal was to connect with at least 5 people. Spoiler alert, I connected with way more than that. The event was amazing, but that's not the point of today's episode. So at the end of one of the sessions that I attended, I'm like, okay, this is my chance to like show up with boldness, show up with confidence, and kind of like work the room. So I'm looking cute. I had on like my power glasses that I wear when I know I'm going to be in situations that are uncomfortable for me because they are a conversation starter. So I'm hyping myself up. I'm like, girl, you got this, go talk. So I ended up introducing myself to a man who was there, and I introduced myself to him because I believe he had asked a question or something, and he mentioned that he was building an app. So obviously I'm like, I want to connect with all of the tech people in this space. So we're chit-chatting. I'm telling him like what it is that I do, telling him all about DEW, the purpose, how the app is going to work. And of course, I mentioned that I am focusing specifically on women entrepreneurs. And like, I feel like I'm being pretty confident, right? Like I've practiced my pitch walking into this thing. Like I'm really sure about who I'm helping, what I'm helping them to do, and like the app that I'm building, I know. So I'm ready for whatever. So as he's talking to me about my idea, he's like, yeah, like, you know, entrepreneurs experience a lot of burnout, and it's something like a lot of people struggle with. And I'm like, yeah, he gets it. He gets it. Until he says, but I'm a little bit worried that because you are focusing just on women, that you may be limiting the potential success of your company. And honestly, like, I wasn't prepared for that. I was prepared to answer questions about funding. I was prepared to answer questions about how I am marketing or how I am actually building the app. I have never in my life, of the many years of being an entrepreneur in all the different capacities that I have had businesses, different capacities, no one has ever straight out told me that focusing on women was going to be a problem. So in hindsight, I probably could have handled this situation a lot better, and I wish I would have had like a snappier comeback. But I just said something along the lines of, you know, I'm a woman. I know what it's like to experience burnout. So I want to, you know, specifically help these set of women. And then the conversation kind of like died down, and, you know, we went on to doing other things. And I thought about it later, because for a second, it almost made me feel like I was doing something wrong. Like, I've always said that I am building Do very differently than I have built other businesses in my past. Like, I've always had a personal brand, whether I was coaching or creating courses or blogging, it was always revolved around me. So I said, you know, as I'm building Do, I am building this as a company that isn't going to rely solely on me to run. I am running it as a company where I will eventually need employees. I will, you know, maybe even one day decide to sell it to someone else. So I'm very intentional with how I'm building this business and how it differs from the businesses that I've built in the past. So for a second, I actually start to wonder, like, wait a minute, am I limiting my potential? Am I limiting the success of my company by only focusing on women? And it really messed me up for a second, because literally this entire business, my entire business plan, my marketing strategy, all of it is centered around women. And I had to like sit there with myself for a little bit, and eventually I shook it off, because again, I'm very confident in what I'm creating and who I'm creating it for. So if it really needs to be said, then yes, I am choosing to focus my entire business around serving women entrepreneurs, because one, I am a woman entrepreneur who has experienced severe burnout, and not only the mental effects, the physical effects, the effects that it's had on my relationships. And I've also worked with tons of other women entrepreneurs who have had the same issues, and it all boiled down to them experiencing some form of burnout. And to be real with you, outside of just knowing my target audience, because I am her, I choose to focus on women because we are the ones who are the most underserved and unsupported. We as women carry what is often called the invisible load. So the invisible load refers to the unseen work of anticipating, planning, and managing a household and family. And I'm sure you can relate to this. If your kid gets sick at school, 9 times out of 10, the person they are calling is the mom. Women are the ones who are most likely doing the grocery shopping. We're doing the back to school shopping. We are the ones making all of the doctor's appointments and making sure the family's calendar is scheduled and perfect and ready to go. We're the ones shipping out the directions of who needs to be where and at what time. And it's not just the physical task of maintaining a family or maintaining a household that we often have to keep track of. It's the mental load too. So I don't know not one woman who doesn't constantly have some type of revolving to-do list of things she needs to check up on, people she needs to follow up with, meetings she needs to schedule, places she needs to be, places where other people have to be. There's always a constant checklist in our head that we're trying to keep up with. So it's not just like we're the ones who are cleaning the house and picking up the kids. We're also doing a lot of the mental work as well. And even if you're not a parent, because I know a lot of people can say, well, women don't have the invisible load because not every woman is managing a house or a family. Even if you're not a parent, most women are expected to constantly show up. We are expected to serve everyone and essentially put everyone's needs above our own. And if we dare say that we are tired or need a break, then we are looked at as if we are weak and we can't handle it. Or if we do finally decide to say no, then we're looked at and being called selfish. It just doesn't make any sense how women are expected to do for everyone else to the point where we are our last priority. And I promise you, I am not trying to intentionally drag men, even if they do deserve it sometimes. But I once read somewhere that men are genetically wired to put their best interests first. Even if they are the most amazing man, 9 times out of 10, they are going to think about how is this going to benefit me? So with men naturally putting their best interests first and all of the other gender stereotypes that we've all fallen into, women are the ones who suffer the most. We are the most underserved. We are the most unsupported, which means we end up with a mass amount of women who are struggling with burnout. So yeah, I am creating a product. I am creating an entire company that is going to focus on helping women entrepreneurs to avoid burnout at all costs. It's not just because I think we need more apps. It's not just because I want to give us something else to do. It is because we need it and our entire well-beings are dependent on it. And outside of us just being underserved and undersupported, did you know that there are over 15 million women-owned businesses right now in the US? And that amount makes up for 40% of all businesses. And correct me if I am wrong, but after all the research that I have done over the past year and some change, I have yet to find a wellness app that is catering specifically to the needs of women entrepreneurs. There are apps that are built for moms. There are apps that are built for women who are more in like corporate positions. And then of course there are wellness apps that literally cater to everybody. But there isn't one app, until I created Do, that caters specifically to women entrepreneurs and the issues and needs that we have. So yes, I am a woman entrepreneur who has experienced severe burnout. I'm a newly divorced mom and my own mom's caregiver, so I understand what it's like to carry that invisible load while also trying to manage and run a business. And I also know that I'm not alone. There are over 15 million women entrepreneurs in the US alone. So yeah, I am gladly limiting myself by only focusing on women entrepreneurs because that is the group that I know the best and is the group that I am most passionate about. And let me tell you this, it is not just about the money for me. Yes, I got bills to pay. I need the money, but it is not just about the money for me. I truly, within the depths of every fiber in my body, want to make sure that more women entrepreneurs are doing the opposite of what I did. I want more entrepreneurs to take better care of themselves. I want more women entrepreneurs to avoid burnout at all costs. And I want them to become their biggest priority because I fully realize that when a woman thrives, especially a woman entrepreneur, when she thrives, everything and everyone around her thrives as well. Her home, her family, her community, the people she employs, everything. And a part of me does wish that I could go back and explain to that man everything I just told you because it would have felt good, like really putting that out there in the moment. But for next time, I know that I will be ready. And if you don't take anything else from this conversation that we've had, one, don't listen to men. Just don't. But for real, you really have to be confident in the work you're doing and who you're doing it for so that when oppositions arise, when people start to question you, you won't be easily swayed. Because I could have easily let that man make me think that I was doing something wrong and completely change my entire company because of one person. But I am so sure and I am so confident in the work I want to do and how I want to help women entrepreneurs that while it did sting for a little bit, it wasn't enough to where it made me want to dismantle everything that I have built so far. You really do have to realize that not everyone is going to understand what you're doing. Not everyone can see the vision that you have. Not everyone knows your end goal. So a lot of things and a lot of ways people will try to discourage you. You've just gotta let it like roll off your back if you truly want to build a successful company. Okay, girl, let me get off this phone. But first, before I go, don't forget to hit subscribe so that you don't miss the next episode of The Unhustle. And also, while you're here, head over to doingeverydaywell.com and sign up for the waitlist for the Do app. We are going to be launching to beta users in September. And girl, I do not want you to miss out. All right, I'll see you next week.